straight into my presentation, which will be based on the context of Nagaland. And yes, here in Nagaland, government jobs are far more advantageous than private jobs. To be honest, I feel like I'm one right person to be standing in the favor of government jobs rather than the private jobs. Why? Because I am one of those victims with the rules and predicaments of private jobs. I worked as a junior engineer in one private construction company for a while. There I had to work for 10 to 13 hours every day, except on Sundays. Despite a long working hour, the salary was a meager 15,000 a month. While on the other hand, a close friend of mine who was working in a government sector with the same qualification as mine was earning 80,000 per month with less working hours and getting other additional benefits like car loan, house loan, personal loan, health coverage, retirement plans, and many more. However, I as a private job holder was not entitled to such benefits. Therefore, given a proper thought, I eventually had to abandon the job and resume my preparation for competitive exams. Next, we have the most obvious point, that is respect and dignity a government employee receives. To cite an example, if you and I happen to secure even a lower grade post through NPSC or NSSP, there will be endless felicitations from the NGOs, civil societies, student bodies, and etc. The church will even acknowledge you and your parents in front of the whole congregation. Wouldn't be that a dream come true? Well, such acknowledgement by our society comes from the practical acknowledgement that government jobs prevail over private jobs. Now I want to emphasize on the superiority and security of private jobs. In the case of private jobs, when there is a change of policy or unfortunate circumstances, the private job holders are highly subjected to vulnerability and disadvantages. For example, a photographer friend of mine, he was earning an average of 4 to 5 lakhs in just a month. But after the imposition of compulsory mass marriage in our church as a result of policy change, he cannot earn the same amount even throughout the year. Unfortunately, for some, they don't even get a single contract. It shows the instability of private jobs and entrepreneurs. But on the flip side, we don't experience such instabilities in government sector. During the COVID-19 pandemic as well, leaving aside the war in India, here in our own small town, many of our youths were working outside in the private sector. They were forced to lose their jobs and they have to return back home. Whereas government servants, they were getting paid without losing their jobs. This is a testament of job security, my friends. Recently, there was a survey published by the Nite Post on 8 October 2024 titled Struggles of Employees of Government in Private Sector, where the majority of the private employees stated that they were dissatisfied over tough working conditions and low wages and working from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. little hours for personal time leading to depression. Therefore, to sum up, they consist of government jobs, private jobs, just one phrase would be security and stability versus depression. I rest my case here.
Good evening, everyone. This evening, I will be speaking against the motion. As we live in another society, we are all living under the cocoon of government job. But how about we come out of our comfort zone and see what the world has to offer? There are lots of options. How about we try to see that as well? So, private job is a driver of change in our society because it drives innovation and creativity. At the same time, my opponent recently mentioned about security. I remember in the year 2022, when NPSC exam was held for PGT teachers and for assistants, what happened was, the result was declared, I think, last year in the month of July, and calling letter was given in the month of November. But what happened is, this group of people, that is 116 teachers, they were not paid their salary for 5 months, and then someone had to file an RTI that was posted in the Nagaland Post. So my dear friend, if you're talking about security, I don't think not getting paid for 6 to 7 months is secure itself. I would also like to state some key points, that is reservation. There is no such thing as reservation in private sector. Private sector is free from reservation. If you have the knowledge and skills, you're hired. If you have the criteria that they want and you're filling in it, then you're hired. No such thing as reservation, or no such thing as ministers, nieces, or uncles or aunts. There is no such phrases as that in private job. Another reason is raises. In private sector, you work smarter, not harder. So what happens is, when an individual works harder, they are given their raises, they are given their incentives based on how they work. But on the other hand, in government sector, raises are given, but then it's based on seniority. Even promotions are based on seniority. Even though you work the whole year and someone just works for 1 month, if the person is senior to you, he's getting the incentives, he's getting the promotion as well. So why waste your time working in government, under government, and still not get the recognition that you deserve or that you want? The third reason is the work culture. The work culture of government people is very monotonous and very boring, I would say. Because private job, what happens in private job is that it's challenging also, but at the same time, when challenges comes, it helps you to build your skills, you become innovative, you try to bring the best out of yourself. And also, there is no ceiling limit to earn. So my opponent was mentioning about how he was getting paid just 15,000. I think it's about working smarter, not harder. So maybe next time you work smarter on that, and maybe they will pay you for that. See, we're talking about change. The phrase government job itself is corrupted. So dear congregation, how about we take a step of change, since private job itself provides security, stability, and accountability? How about we as a society come together and try to change people's perspective towards private job? Thank you.
It's like my opponent, she stated about the stability, the work stability. I want to stress more on the work stability. So here, when we talk about any kind of jobs, be it private or be it government sector, the one thing, the key factor that we look for is the word stability. So here, when we talk about private sector, any kind of sector, they may dissolve anytime, since their main existence, their sole purpose is to serve their own interests and for their own benefit. So they may dissolve anytime. If they get benefit, they will remain stable, but if they do not get benefit, they may dissolve anytime. But when we talk about the government sector, their existence or their sole purpose is to serve the people. So it will not dissolve, it will be stable. And once you are hired in a government job, in any kind of government sector, you will enjoy a substantial job. And not only that, since your job is stable, then you will also enjoy a substantial job. Once you are hired, you will enjoy a substantial job, and not only that, you will also be able, since your work is stable, you will also able to have a stable mental health as well. And this private job, it never comes as a first option, but it always comes as a second option, or it comes after government job. Why do people do that? People many times they appear exams multiple times, and only after they are not able to achieve their goals, the second option they click is the private job. Why do they do this? it is because they know that government job is the only job that can provide stability. And I bet there is no other such jobs that can provide stability. And as my opponent has mentioned, work harder, work smarter, then you will get incentives and all in private jobs and all. But see, we are all human beings. We are bound to get sick. We are bound with thousands of unspoken difficulties and burdens in life. So in government sector, the leave policy is very flexible. But when we talk about this private sector, the leave policy is very rigid. So here, sometimes even you have to, when it comes to the private sector, you have to be there physically present in your work, and you have to work harder, you have to work smarter, then only you will be promoted as well, and then only you will get incentives and many more. But in government sector is completely different. The leave policy is very flexible, there is no rigidity. The different kinds of leaves are provided, like the annual leaves, the different kinds of government holidays, the sick leaves, and moreover the maternity or paternity leaves, the different kinds of leaves are provided here. So, okay, thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Be it in private sector or government sector, we all seek for a job to earn money, so I would like to first emphasize on earning potential. When it comes to earning potential, private sectors have higher earning potential. In support of my statement, in government sector, the salary is fixed. Of course, there is yearly increment, but it is fixed. But in private sector, the income is limitless. There is no limit. A private employee can earn an income, government's one salary income in a single day. And also to acquire wealth. In government sectors, one can acquire wealth by misusing public funds, which is not very ethical, and it is also not the will of God. But in private sector, one can set up certain goals and work hard accordingly. And yes, that is the first point. And creativity. When it comes to creativity, the government employees, they become very lazy. They are using their advantage, the so-called security. But I would say that is a disadvantage because they feel secure and they become lazy, and they fail to even identify their own potential because they stay confined and stagnant because of so-called security. But in private sectors, one becomes very creative because one has to survive in the market. One has to be in competition with other companies, so that we want skill development is more advantageous in private sectors. And for example, I will give an example of private schools and government schools. Private teachers, they become very creative because, like I said, they have to survive, they have to keep the job, so they become very creative, and the results given by the private schools are way much better than the government schools. And some advantages of being in private sector are for startups. If you are a government employee, you cannot apply certain schemes, but if you are unemployed, you can apply schemes such as under Ministry of Food Processing Industries, like PMFME schemes, that is agriculture related, where the government provides subsidies up to 25%. And also under industries like for small, micro, and medium enterprises, you can avail subsidies under Khadi and Village Industries Commission, that is under Industries Department. And also my opinions say that government jobs have better retirement plans, but I say that even private sectors can have a much better retirement plans than the government employees. To do that, we have all heard of mutual funds. We can invest in mutual funds such as retirement plans, which has very high interest rate that will give you a secure retirement plan. And also, while I agree with my opponent, saying that we all keep private job as a second option, but I would say that is because we lack creativity and we do not identify our own potential and only seeking NPAC. But there is so much more than competitive exams.
I'm all geared up to speak for the motion on the topic. Is government job more advantageous than private job? Choosing a job depends on various factors, including personal preferences, career goals, job security, and financial aspirations. I would like to speak on why government job is more advantageous than private job. First and foremost, job security. Government jobs are generally considered stable and secure, unlike in private sector where one may lose their job at any moment. To supplement myself a bit, let me bring up a perfect example. During a pandemic, majority of the factories and industries were shut down, resulting in millions of scheduled workers, whereas government employees and pensioners were getting their salaries more or less on time. Coming to the present context, 90% of technology sector jobs are getting threatened by ChatGPT and AI, whereas government employees are chilling with no worries of losing their job or getting replaced by any invention in the market. Secondly, social prestige. Government jobs are often viewed with prestige and respect in our society. Furthermore, pensions and benefits. Most of the government jobs offer pensions and health insurance, which is quite appealing. The most outstanding benefits of being a government employee is enjoying a maternity and paternity leave. The Maternity Benefit Act 1961 applies to all women in the government sector, including state and central government employees. Under this Act, all pregnant females are entitled to a maternity leave of 26 weeks for the first and second child. For the third or subsequent pregnancy, expecting mothers are eligible to take maternity leave for 12 weeks. Likewise, as central government employees can take up to 15 days of paternity leave as per Central Civil Services Rule 1972. My worthy opponent spoke about income, the handsome income in the private sector. Well, let us keep ourselves reminded that money is a means, not an end. As we grow old, we realize the grass is no more greener on the other side. It is a luxury to have leisure time these days. Hence, if you want a quality life and pursue your hobby, then government job is a good choice. Thank you.
My humble respect to the judges and all the congregations here. I want to start with some few points of counter-reply from our audio opponents. The first thing is about private jobs having more works than, private jobs having more works than government jobs. Government jobs are also government employees are also supposed to work the same as private employees. That is one point. It is because government employees does not do their work with full sincerity. That is why they get leisure time. That is the first point. And if that is the point where we say government job is better, then we rely on insincerity. We rely on dishonesty. That is the first point. The second point is about, I don't mean to be particular here, I don't mean to go personal here, but about photographer. You are a photographer, not a marriageographer, right? We are a photographer, you go take photos everywhere, not only marriage. And you are a photographer of all the churches, not a photographer of SBCZ. That is the second point I want to reply. And coming back to my points, talk about wealth. Who on earth would not want to be wealthy, right? Everyone wants to be wealthy. And if you want to be wealthy, you choose private, not government jobs. And if you choose, the second point, if you choose government job because you want to be wealthy, then you are choosing to be a thief. That is what I would say, right? You are choosing to be a thief. So many people, so many government employees, high government officials are rich because they are thief. That is something that we all need to know, and that is something that is a fact that we all know. And in relating to that, government jobs, government employees who are rich becomes questionable to integrity also. Integrity. They lose their integrity. And what is the point of living without integrity? Isn't it? Now, about generating opportunities. How many government jobs can it generate? How many government jobs can a government generate actually? As of September 2024, there are around 70,000 people who are seeking for a job. 70,000 people seeking for a job. Just imagine. Can government employ all those 70,000? No, not possible. Then, comparing to that, we have around 350,000 workers in call centers. Just imagine how many unemployed people are being employed by the call centers. And likewise, come to talk about the groceries, come to talk about institutions, private institutions, like hostels, like coaching institutes, schools, and everywhere. How many youths who are unemployed, who are left jobless, can be employed by those private sectors? And how can we say that one who is working in a government job is better? When someone who has created something is employing thousands and thousands of people through their jobs and through their works. That is something questionable, isn't it? When we say government jobs more advantageous than private job. So through this debate, I want to bring a change and to our mindset that no, government job is never better. But we need to know that the private jobs, private job is better, far more better. Thank you all.
Signing up for the advantages of government jobs over private jobs, as our opponent said about the salary. The salary of the government servant, they are paid in full. Instead, the government pay extra as fine errors if they doesn't pay the salary on time. And for working under tight budgeting in private sector, they are paid less because they are working under tight budgeting. You will know only if you experience in a private sector. Government salary, there is increment for in government salary, increment after every 6 months and some after every 12 months. There is an increment. There's no schemes in government, there is scheme. And also, like the old pension scheme, the government of India on 34th August, they have come up with a scheme of after retirement, getting pension after retirement called UPS, Unified Pension Scheme. And even after your death, your wife and your children will still be enjoying that pension. About the work distribution, government and private sector. Government, they employ more. They have unlimited budget, and then for private, under tight budget, they employ less labor, and therefore private sector, private job, they have to work more. And it's not about the quality of the person who is working in private job or government job. We are talking about which one is better, which one is best, which one is secure, which one is stability, and which one is secure. So, summing up again, here in Ireland, government jobs is far more advantageous than the private jobs. My dear opponent, even if you say, lastly, my wishful prayer, I would like to pay my huge respect to all the private job holders here for all the hardships and challenges that we have to go through. My wishful prayer that we all enjoy the benefits of government service one fine day. Thank you.
Well, I am a private teacher myself, so I know what are the struggles that one goes through. So you talk about government chase you out of your work if you're working smart, if you're doing the right duty on time, if you're giving out your right skills and you're putting out your work and effort on time. So there is no one who can chase you out from your work. It will be during pandemic as well. Also talking about flexibility. Yes, of course, government jobs, there is lots of maternity and paternity leaves, but no work, no pay, they say. And then they've been working under the motto, but then this motto, it's only practical, it's not being used. So I think it's unjust when someone takes leave for around 200 to 300 days in a year and still get paid the entire year, right? See, for us private job holders, we do our best, we do our work on time, we get paid on time, we're able to manage our money because we are grateful and because we put so much effort into earning that money. We make sure that we also balance we balance our financial status as well. And talking about incentives, I want to take the example of Emmanuel Higher Secondary. They make sure that if any teacher does not take leave, they are paid extra money, extra bonus.